owe you. I always say this to people many times. I publicly have said this, that on some level, if it wasn't for you, I'd be fucked because I broke my cooperation agreement. When I was
You'd still be in jail, probably.
I'd still be in jail. Let me tell you the story. For those of you who don't know the movie, I want to give Danny a shout out here because Danny got a bad rap in the movie. Danny did not turn me in and slip the letter to you, and it has nothing to do with Danny. Danny was unfortunately dead. Sorry, Dan. It wasn't in the book, but they just collapsed a few characters together, right? It's true that I was asked when I was cooperating. Just say how I made sense with my cooperation. Well, all my friends are cooperating. It's not gonna be people I know. It's just I'm doing the right thing. And when I was asked to cooperate against a real friend of mine, Dave Beal, right? I had this moment of what I thought was, I can't rat my friend out, and blah, blah, blah. Plus, there was political overtones, right?
Correct.
Leave those out for right now,
Correct.
okay? Because you probably told us less as much as I do. And instead of ratting my friend out, I slipped him a note saying, I'm wired, don't talk to me.
Right.
Right? And in that moment that I said, you know what? I wouldn't cooperate against my friend. I felt like a real man. Whatever. I had this moment of conscience, whatever you call it. It's like I cooperate against the whole thing, but not against a friend. That's how I rationalized it to myself. And I felt really good about that. I think it was 3 months later, I'm like, get this terrible call where, like, long story short, this guy somehow opened up. I don't think he ratted me out. Doesn't matter how it happened. I know you'll never tell me because you never have. Somehow you found out I slipped him a note. And at that moment, you had every right to rip up my agreement, and I would have done 25 years, correct?
Somewhere between 21 and 27.
Right. You had every right to, and you didn't.
Yeah, because
thank you for that, by the way. No, seriously. No.
Look,
you stood. Listen, I honestly, it was because of you that I didn't do 20 years in jail. But I want to know why you did it.
Look, here's the thing. I had a lot invested in this also. I'm not going to lie and say that some of this isn't personally for me, okay? It's not all about you. Some of it was about me. I had invested a lot in this, and I knew the other people you had dealt with. Right, I was very aware of who they were. And not only that, look, and I think it's important for the public to understand, I don't just randomly go out and pick people and wire you up and send you in against them.
Right.
We debriefed you, and you can confirm this, and we debriefed Danny for months. And we created lists of people. And I think this is very important.
I wasn't sent to entrap anybody.
No, and this is the point I want to make because of current events, and this is where current events have gotten the FBI into trouble. Okay? We don't just take your information and blindly accept it. I corroborated that information. If you told me you did a deal with Mr. X and that he was involved in this particular stock as a bridge lender or a flipper or a rattle, I pulled those records and I looked and I confirmed. Now, if you told me he got 100,000 shares, but he really got 150, okay, that doesn't matter to me. Right. He still got the shares. He still did what you said. Dates and numbers when you're talking in the future. I mean, everybody is fuzzy on those things, right? So I would take that list of people that you had. I wanted to go after them. I mean, I have second and third wave of arrests I want to make in your case. I say your case, the whole Stratton Oakmont investigation, right? Yeah. So when you did that, and it was less than 3 months that it came circular back to me, and the note said, don't incriminate yourself, I'm wired, right? We knew we had a problem. Right. And what was bad for you was it was the first time out of the gate. Because you have to remember, and this is my decision. I made this. I'm the guy who sent you in against your close friend.
Right.
Because I had to make a decision as an agent. I've been chasing you for 6 years. I'm tired of chasing you. I've got other cases I want to work on. I've got other things I want to do. I want to wrap you up. But here's the thing. You've never worked for the government before as a cooperating witness, right? You've never worn a recording device like we're going to put on you, or a transmitter. We're not going to put you in, you've never been in situations forced to ask the kind of questions I'm going to make you ask, and in the ways to elicit things from people that are helpful for you and for us for the case, okay? So I need to make a decision. I may only get one whack at a particular individual. In other words, if I send you in against Mr. X, who's a low-level person, I can do that, and if you screw it up, it's not really a big deal because they're low level. If you say the wrong thing or you talk too much or you don't get what we need. But if I send you in against the top guy, our number 1 or 2, number 3 target, and you screw it up, I may never get a chance to send you in against them again. Also, though, I have to sort of analyze you psychologically in your profile. Can I trust you? Can I And obviously, I couldn't trust you, but that's why I sent you in against your close friend. If you wire up against your close friend and you create a valuable recording for us, then you're on board. It indicates to me that you're on board. It indicates that you're going to do what you need to do in order to get that 5K. Obviously, you tried to double play us, you tried to double deal us, and because you didn't know, and the people you're dealing with didn't know. Remember, at that point, my boat is full of cooperating witnesses.
Sure.
Everything from the cold caller level to the account opening level to the partner level to people outside of the firm, all cooperating with me. And of course, they're all looking for information and feedback to me. It comes back to me. It's far less than
I don't know why I
3
did
months.
it. I just, in that moment, it was something really odd. I think you understood my motivation wasn't evil.
Look, I get why you did it, and of course that's why we made you take an additional obstruction of justice.
Right,
count.
did extra time for it.
I mean,
yeah.
ultimately, it didn't really affect your sentencing at all. Again, I don't have any say over sentencing.
I don't know. Did it? Maybe it was an extra 6 months. Whatever. Who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows?
Right. Maybe it did. But you were done. You were, by all intents and
fucked.
purposes, they wanted to shut you down.
Right.
And it was only my dealing and my relationship, because I had a very good relationship with Joel Cohen.
Right.
And he was a very good guy. He listened to me again. And I think the greatest strength Joel Cohen had, he's not only just a good lawyer, but he's a good listener.
So I shouldn't hate
and
Joel
he
Cohen, then.
trusts in his agents. Well, look, I mean, I don't think you should hate anybody, right?
don't
If
hate
you
Joel
don't,
Cohen.
no, I know you don't.
really
but
don't.
And it's okay if, look, it's important for people to understand, I don't have the kind of relationship that I have with you or with other people. That it's not that way with everybody.
Right, I get it.
Right. I mean, I'm very select about, I do my analysis about who I can deal with and who I can't deal with.
totally get it.
Whether or not even I come here today.
Right.
Right. I mean, there's a whole analysis I have to go through, because some people will look at this today and say, he's a sellout. Screw him. He's no good. He's gone to the other side. And some people will say, actually, he's living what he preaches, right? So I prefer to think I'm living what I'm preaching. If
You
people
haven't
don't
changed
believe
one
it-
bit.
No, I mean, look, I am what I am. It's
True or false?
yeah.
You came on my yacht. I threw lobsters at you.
Unfortunately, false.
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 False. He would have shot me if I threw
Yeah.
lobsters at
Although I do believe it's the greatest
It
scene
was a
in the
great
movie.
scene,
It's a
right?
great scene.
It was a great
And by the
scene.
way, I have to give a shout out to Kyle Chandler. Did an amazing
he was
job.
amazing,
Great
right?
guy. Look, that scene, and let me tell you why I think that's such a great scene. We actually role played that scene in the FBI offices. The Bureau gave us permission, for me in particular, to review portions of the script. I had a very tiny,
Right, I
tiny
get it,
little.
yeah.
Look, and I've made no
I
money,
remember,
not a
yeah.
single penny
I
from it.
remember.
But my purpose was to ensure accuracy.
Right,
I
right.
wanted it to be accurate. Look, if Hollywood wants to make up some completely false, then make it up. You don't need me. Don't waste my time. Just do what you want to do.
Right.
But if you want the truth, because in my opinion, as you know from your books and your movies, the truth is far better than anything anybody can make up. Right. So, look, and you'll have to confirm this, but my understanding is that was a plan of yours. You wanted to bring me to the yacht. You wanted to see if I was corruptible, and Bo Dietl talked you out of it, right?
Correct.
Which led to the whole scene going out to the country club on the cell phone with the Quaaludes and all. Now, look, I read the script. I didn't like the way the boat scene was written. I said I would never do these things
Right,
that you're
that's what I
saying
said
here.
that too.
I would never do this. I would never speak this way. And they said, well, what would you do?
Yeah.
And I literally told,
Yeah, and they changed it,
I
I
told
think.
Kyle
Yeah,
Chandler, and I told the other writer who was there, who's the other person in the scene, this is what I would do.
Yeah, they altered the scene.
Yeah. And I think it came out fantastic.
was
I
really
think
good.
Kyle Chandler did an amazing job, and DiCaprio did a great job. And
They did.
yeah, I think it turned out well.